TDS.
Early frustrations that were being felt.
That was the first half.
And now
here's the second half.
It's amazing what winning can do.
And that shirt right there was borrowed out of Andy Reid's closet. He said, Andy, I'm bringing it out when I feel comfortable.
A little beach wear on a 35-degree day in Kansas City that has seen a 41-point spree by the Chiefs.
We exclusively use a custom GI 50 caliber paintball.
And Deshaun Watson is 15 for 21 for 175 yards and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he's playing a good football game. He has 24 points midway through the third quarter, and it feels like it's almost insurmountable.
It does.
Remember this moment, Jim?
Mahomes telling one play at a time. Let's get back into this thing. That was at 24 points down. He implored his teammates, and then they just went crazy in the second quarter, as did the Chiefs. And Damien Williams, his last playoff game, that loss to the Patriots, he had 3 touchdowns against New England. He's got 3 in this one.
How many points was Deshaun Watson down last week?
And down 16.
Down 17. He's done a lot of great things in his career. This would be at the top of the list.
There's Hopkins. He falls at the 46.
I'm talking to him.
Look at Hopkins. He's got that rib injury, so smartly here, he doesn't want to take a hit. You got to take it. Says he just nowhere to go, right?
Oh man, playing with broken ribs is no fun. Anytime you don't take the hit, you feel like you're on the
So a good game for Houston to start this drive. 46. That's one cheek on another, and over the head of Hyde. Boy, that wasn't supposed to happen. They may have had him, but the Kansas City defenders collided with one another.
Yeah.
First team to score touchdown on 6 straight drives since the Packers did it in 2007 divisional game.
That was Brett Favre Packers. They lost to the Giants, who ended up beating the Patriots in the 07.
2nd and 10. Good cut by Stills. Dives ahead for a first down.
This is what I like. Let Fuller keep taking the top off. If they're going to cover him with 2 guys going deep, get these other guys underneath him. Like, use that to your advantage. And, he's going to be wore out at the end of the day because he's going to keep running deep.
Yeah.
But you can throw to these guys right underneath, and it's available. It's there.
Fuller, who had been limited most of the week in practice with a groin injury, missed Week 17, missed the wild card game, and there he is in a slot to the left. Got 2 catches for 15 yards today. Hyde slips out of a tackle, almost lost the football. Pulled it back into the 39, gain of 4. He got away from Suggs.
And we know in 17, you do say, I can't tell you I'm not a math major, but I can tell it's a 3 possession game at least. Right?
Hey, sound like a math major, baby.
Well, I think they got to get some points in this drive. To go down 17 and really shorten this game, especially with the other side, even if you stopped them. To score 3 times in the next quarter would be very difficult. So at least 3 on this drive.
Here's Watson directing traffic and loading it up and going long and throwing it away to Fuller. That was Fuller on Fuller. Kendall Fuller defending on Will of Houston.
They're trying to come up with these play action plays way down the field. It's just Kansas City's prepared for that. They're up 17. They're like, take your time, but you're not getting a home run. I think this is 4-down territory right here, Jim.
You got to think.
It's too long for the field goal.
It's already down to 2.5 minutes to go in the third.
And you tell your quarterback you got 2 plays. Don't force it here. Steve Spagnuolo, nobody's back deep. You see back here in the middle, nobody, no safety. They want him to think everyone's coming here, and they are.
Here comes Clark. He steps away from him. Watson, sideline, and Hopkins got the feet down for the catch in the first at the 30. Great job working that sideline.
And Hopkins does an incredible job. You don't know who's coming. They pressure with 4 guys, but you don't know who's coming. And then Hopkins gets those feet down and keeps control of that ball. That's an outstanding catch.
Hopkins now 98 yards in the game on 8 receptions.
Really good patience by him and Deshaun, because like all these people are up there, they're pressuring, but they're only sending 4 or 5, but it's still pressure. You just don't know which ones are coming. You got to be calm and wait it out.
They go to Stills. Fenton on him. Stills throws at the last moment to Watson. Are they going to rule him down? They're going to rule him down back at the 44.
Before the pass is thrown, it's second down.
They ruled him down?
They did.
I think this is the right call. It looks to me like he had a knee and they're trying to take a shot. Let's see, right? Yep.
And that's Rashad Fenton, the rookie out of South Carolina, who gets this play to go for a loss of 14. Puts Houston in a big jam. 2nd and 24. Down the sideline, and it is caught. That's Fuller down to the 5. He got away from Fenton, who had just made the tackle for loss.
I can't believe, outside up top, it's Ward, I believe, guarding him there.
And then Fenton comes
over as the safety, like you said, and the fact that he kind of stopped, Ward did. This is Fuller, the one guy we talked about, is going deep all the time, over and over again.
39 yards to Fuller.
Gives him a little bit of life right there.
Yep, 1st and goal at the 5. Run to the short side. Watson hide in front. He jumps over and in for the touchdown. That was a good block, too, by Stills on that side, as well as Hyde.
Well,
they led the convoy to the end zone for the 5-yard touchdown.
Yeah, and he's making sure that he didn't fumble this out before. I mean, it's a touchdown. It's a great design play, but right there, and that ball comes out.
Oh, that is close.
I think he gets past first.
Touchdown.
Before... Let's bring Gene in. Go ahead, Gene. Take this one.
We
Thanks,
brought you
guys.
here for a reason.
You know what? All he has to do is maintain possession when that ball breaks the plane inside the pylon or over the pylon. And I think he does. It's really close, but right there, I think there's enough possession when it breaks the goal line. And I think touchdown's the right call.
Boy, it was. It was moving a little bit.
It was moving a little.
After it, I believe.
I think it's going to be... Can't overturn that one too hard. Even if it was closer. I'm going touchdown.
Yeah. Touchdown confirmed, Gene. You're undefeated today.
You get to keep your job, Gene.
Thanks,
bring you back next week.
He just told me I am every day. Okay. 5 years ago, by the way, Tony, from the Des Getch game that Gene officiated up in Green Bay.
That's a great memory.
5 years ago. Yeah, I thought you might appreciate that.
Thanks, Jim.
Houston.
Let's go to break so I can be very upset. Yeah. See you when we get back.
Let's get to work.
Copy that.
You can talk to animals.
Yes.
The Eden Tree. Its fruit is said to have magical healing powers.
We must journey to find it.
What?
We must travel to an uncharted island while being chased by pirates and dragons.
Nobody told me there'd be a dragon.
Is this a pep talk? Because it's a weird one.
Doolittle.
This is very bad.
Bye.
Yeah?
Wrong message. Sorry. I'll prevent them before they start.
You leave it to me. I'll get your taxes in an okay place.
What?
Well, just as soon as my audit is over. This gets my undivided attention.
Take a lot of trips to the islands, Bill.
Pretty great, right? Oh, Phil's legally dead. Fell off a boat. Going by Dennis now. Solari. Long story. Then we got, no, I'm not gonna want to see this.
I don't think this is gonna work.
Just okay is not okay. AT&T has America's best network, now with our best plans at our best prices, starting at $35 a line for 4 lines, new from AT&T.
So you're Patrick's new State Farm agent, huh?
Yeah, that's me.
What do you cover? Is Mahomes an auto? Come on.
No.
Get it.
It's a no for me.
Steph?
Sorry.
Come on, guys. It's wordcraft.
I came here to find safety. But one is never safe from the past. We all have a story just waiting to be claimed. Trying to talk me.
Over here, they got the game stats on the side. We have them here, but on the side of the stadium over here, 233 yards passing for each team, 79 rushing for one team, 87 for the other. One turnover. Everything's basically even. It's just a play or two on it.
Here's Hartman. Got out to about the 28-29. Yeah, there have been some of these little plays that have changed the tide to Murray. By the way, the night before Super Bowl 54, the NFL's brightest stars come together to salute the best players, the best plays, the best moments from this 100th season of the NFL. Tune into NFL Honors, hosted by Steve Harvey, Saturday, February 1st, 8 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Now, you're Houston, you're Bill O'Brien, you got to, again, can the defense do something? Or even, not only a stop, could it possibly force a turnover or something to really get back into this game going into the fourth? Mahomes, though, well protected. I mean, all kinds of time. And there's Kelsey. And then you give him that much time. You pointed it out already. Kelsey's going to beat you with Mahomes every time. He got away from Lonnie Johnson for another 23.
If he gets to be man-to-man and the quarterback gets time, you will not stop Kansas City. You need to pressure.
It's the end of 3 in KC.
KFC Famous Bowls are only $3, a whole pound of tasty food. But how? It's the famous core of this and some famous bits of that and some chicken on the bowl and more gravy. KFC Famous Bowls, a whole pound of
Welcome to our Keller.
Jim Nance, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson, Jay Feely, Gene Steratore here at Arrowhead as we begin the final 15 minutes. 41-31, Kansas City. And look at the numbers for Kelsey. 10 catches, 134 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Here's the jet sweep. Hardman for another 13. What we saw, Houston out 24-0 minutes into the second quarter, and then a 41-point unanswered streak by the Chiefs. Texans had just scored on their last possession to trim it back down to 10, and Mahomes, that second quarter, sensational. The best team all year in the league in the second quarter, and they showed that again tonight. Here's a first down from the Houston 36.
It's just basically when they figure out what you're doing, they're just, really hard to guard. They're better than most people. Like each guy individually is just really hard.
Like Houston jumped, pass pulled down. Sammy Watkins inside the 10.
So they finally get a zone defense.
Defense number 98. This penalty's declined. The play results in a first down.
Now, before the game, we said you can't play zone. So you'll see just verticals. And when you play zone, these guys inside, just watch. They just run right through you. And Mahomes just launches it to somebody, and they have so much speed. You have to play man. We said that. But you got to pressure to make it get out of his hand. Someone win quickly.
Perfect in the red zone. 6 for 6. Mahomes with a touchdown pass to Blake Bell. He didn't have one all season, but he's got one in the divisional round.
Just an unbelievable design. Watch 27's eyes right here. He's guarding 81. And if you look right there, Adams has him. And Bell just tricks him. He looked into the backfield. That's your guy. Thinking he was going to block. See how he was in the stance. And he's wide open.
Blake Bell out of Oklahoma with the touchdown. Mahomes out with 5 scoring passes. That's another point. Mahomes celebrating as this offense is in high gear now. Has been since the second quarter.
There may be trouble ahead. While the moonlight and music and love on your eyes. Let's face music and dance.
Free 2-hour grocery delivery. Now with Prime.
There he is. Oh, wow. You're doing really great with the twirling.
Dad, if you want to talk, I have a break at 3.
Okay. I'm going. It's like I wasn't here. Keep doing it, buddy.
Switch to Progressive and you can save hundreds. You know, like the sign says.
With Domino's $5.99 mix and match deal, you can feed a family of 4 for about $3 per person.
My wallet.
Or your daughter can. Feed a family of 4 for about $3 per person with the $5.99 mix and match deal at Domino's.
Stream CBS Sports HQ, your free, always-on sports news network.
If you're on the list,
This fugitive is out for blood.
they're on your trail.
She'll do whatever it takes.
Blood on the front seat.
We just crossed state line. Let's find out exactly what she wants. Let's close the net.
new FBI Most Wanted, Tuesday 10/9 Central on CBS.
One network, all postseason.
You ever seen a victory shower in the middle of a game, Tony?
I tell you right now, if you look at Fisher on the left, watch the little beverage, and he's like, yes, my best Stone Cold Steve Austin impersonation, and that's true offensive lineman. Tonight, he was getting started a little early, I think. Still got a little bit more to go there, Fish.
I was going to call a hotline to see if you can do that, but I guess you can.
You can.
You remember at the start?
Obviously, ribs that are very uncomfortable. For him to play the way he's playing today is really impressive. And I mean, they've scored 31 points, Jim. It's just they haven't stopped them. It's really that simple.
Do you know they scored more than 30 points only twice during the regular season, and one of them was here against Kansas City in the win 31-24.
We knew when they're healthy that they're really, like with all the receivers and everyone, they're tough to stop. But obviously, Kansas City has monster firepower.
Hyde. And that's Matthew throwing him down. Those two players who were wearing the other team's uniform last year. Hyde, well, actually, Hyde didn't join them until the offseason in Kansas City, played the preseason for the Chiefs, jettisoned him in a trade to Houston. And Matthew gets that 3-year, $42 million contract to sign with the Chiefs. Hopkins one play out and back in. Double coverage down here on Hopkins, and it is dropped. Matthew had it.
And that would have officially, I think, I never go officially, but that would have made this almost insurmountable. Matthew right at this has the ball coming right down, and one of his easier interceptions he'll have.
They don't get any easier than that.
And I think what happens is you start thinking about possibly the out of bounds. And I think he was trying to think about that a little bit too much.
You're right. 3rd and 4 from the Kansas City 42. Carter, one of the receivers in for Houston. Hopkins. Pass tip and incomplete. Off the hands of Stills, and of course Houston will have to go for it.
Just a little high there for Watson, and Bill O'Brien sending out the punting unit.
Gotta go for it, and they're not. Okay. What do you think with 11:45 to go, down 17?
You go for this. Yep. Look at.
I mean, Watson made an appeal to the coach.
He's telling him right now. He might take a timeout because he knows he's going for it.
Yeah, timeout called by the Texans. All right, let's go down during this timeout to the sideline. Back to you, Trace.
Well, I spoke to Bill O'Brien coming out of the half, and he actually told me they came into this game not wanting to punt to them at all. So not surprising that they went for it on the 4th down or they did a trick play. So don't be surprised if you see something here, guys.
Well, we're going to see the offense come back onto the field. Watson made an appeal, and O'Brien took note of it, called the timeout. They're going to go for it.
Well, you haven't stopped them yet. You're going to need something to go your way with like a fumble. You know, obviously, if they had answers, they would have used them at this point. Steve Spagnuolo right here. It's an interesting thing because you're like, we can go win the game almost with this right here. But if you come after them, you're one-on-one on the outside. I would pretend like we're pressuring and bail everyone out to make the clock continue to run and make them work. Put everyone up there. Only rush 3 or 4 guys.
They're rushing 3 with a spy. Watson off his back foot. Way over the head of his target, Hopkins.
The funny part there is you gain way more yards if you drop that. And so even though Fenton doesn't catch it, it's better for Kansas City yardage-wise, and really just throw that's a little behind and high.
And Watson was rushed on the throw.
Yes.
So Kansas City takes over on downs with 11.5 to go. So the Chiefs 7 straight touchdown drives, which is an NFL postseason record since the records in the merger of 1970 have been kept and beyond. So in 50 years, nobody's ever been that dominant in a streak of 7 straight possessions. Bell, who caught the last touchdown, has another catch here.
Kelsey should, this is where I'd start thinking about him. Go ahead and take us through 60 minutes.
Well, you want to do it? You got it. Tonight, 60 minutes. 2 performers at the top of their games. You love Joaquin Phoenix, right? He's going to be profiled. And Tennis's number 1,
Rafael Nadal.
Only on 60 minutes.
That was cute.
That's called a Romo promo. I like it. You ought to do more of those.
I'm out.
Take that away from me.
All right, Jim.
3rd, 2nd, and 4th. There is Williams, untouched till he went out of bounds. Still wasn't touched.
Yeah, just a good call, just running the ball. And look at what they've done today, Jim.
Well, you started out, Tony, by talking about how these two, we're going to see them for years. The two of the young stars in this league. And you look at Watson's numbers, they're great. Plus, he rushed for a touchdown. Then you got Mahomes, who threw for 5. And also rushed for another 56. Leads the team in rushing.
It's just, the league it's great for the league. A lot of young quarterbacks with a lot of talent. These two are right near the top of any of them, obviously.
Williams, again, he hasn't been touched until he gets to the 12. Running behind Eric Fisher.
Well, Fisher's got that juice that he gained on the celebration earlier. And you'll see 72 pulling out front, and then Williams does the rest and just runs to the side.
And this Houston defense has just got to be exhausted. They've just been shredded and have no answers for anything that Kansas City presents. 26 yards on this carry for number 26. Could Mahomes throw for a 6th? Now they're going to hand it off to Hill. And Cunningham shoves him out at the 10. Driving for what would be an 8th consecutive touchdown drive.
Is there a record of straight touchdown drives in a game?
Well, they've got the postseason record already. Already today.
In a game ever, is there a record? Has anyone scored on every possession a touchdown? Sure, someone has.
Somewhere
right?
along the line of the regular season. I thought you would know that. You must have done that somewhere, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
From the 10, 2nd and 4. Or 2nd and 6.
Now they're going to come after him here, and he's going to get rid of this quickly.
Ball's batted in the air. J.J. Watt.
J.J. Watt probably saves a touchdown there.
Remember J.J. visiting with us yesterday, talking about how Mahomes, he's got this fade kind of move, and he's got the arm strength that even if you're chasing after him, you can figure out ways to create windows and alleys.
And he's right. It's rare. When you come after quarterbacks, usually you get a hit on him. He just drifts back. Mahomes just drifts back and then slings that arm, the little wrist snap, and all of a sudden, nope, there's 30 yards. And not everybody can do that.
J.J., whose rookie year, he was part of that team that took the franchise to the playoffs for the first time. Set up screen to Williams. In traffic, Williams. And he is going to be stopped. They actually get to a 4th down. 2 yards short. And they bring out Butker.
He was trying. Mahomes was trying to tell Andy Reid, we want to go for this. Andy Reid says, I am the coach. But thank you for trying. Oh, yeah, I got you. I tried.
Clock still running inside 8.5. Butker to try to make it 51. From just 24 yards away. The leading scorer in the NFL this year. He set a franchise record with 147 points. He puts up 3 more.
We all use our cell phones very differently.
Why the French family chose Verizon.
So she's always on social media.
He's always watching sports. Someone's video chatting her friend.
Hi, Gianna.
My parents are getting older, so knowing that I can get in touch with them at any time is really comforting.
Grandma, you're on TV.
Wow, what channel?
The network more people rely on gives you more. Like plans your family can mix and match starting at just $35. So everyone gets the plan they need and Disney Plus on us. Plus one of our best phones when you buy one. That's Verizon.
The 2 for $5 mix and match deal from McDonald's is back. Choose from some of your all-time favorites. So good. How good. It's time to celebrate because 2 for $5 mix and match is back.
Whoa, this is awful. Try it.
Oh, no, that looks gross. What is that?
You gotta try it. It's terrible.
I don't want to try it if it's terrible.
It's like mango chutney and burnt hair.
No, thank you. I have a very sensitive palate.
Just try it!
Guys, I think we should hurry up.
If you taste something bad, you want someone else to try it. It's what you do.
I can't get the taste out of my mouth.
If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Shh, dog.
Rock
a showstopper, beats, get it crunk and wired. Wave your hands, scream louder. Everybody here, get it out of control.
It's time to get a whole new perspective on Ram trucks. Because to us, there are no small jobs, no little tasks. And when it comes to innovation, there are no modest ideas. No wonder why more people are switching to Ram than ever before. Ram trucks, back-to-back Motor Trend Truck of the Year.
Now get an average $8,831 in total values on the 2020 Ram 1500, plus these additional incentives.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon, the network more people rely on. With Geico, 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Ram Trucks, Motor Trend's back-to-back Truck of the Year. What do you think, Mike Vrabel and the Tennessee Titans, Dean Pease, their deep coordinator of the team, are thinking watching this game after their 2 great road victories? They're going to be in the AFC Championship game next week.
Well, think about, for Tennessee to go to the Super Bowl, all they had to do was go into New England, be the first team in however long to beat them there, then go into Baltimore, a team that was just dominating for the last 12 games, and then come here into Kansas City, who just scored 51 at least, most likely. I mean, there isn't a tougher thing, ever to get to the Super Bowl.
The NFL in its 100th year, remembering some of the highlights. How about the last time they met in the postseason? Tennessee here at Arrowhead. Marcus Mariota had a big game, even caught a pass, as you saw. Derrick Henry had another one of his monster games, and they came back from being down in that game. Won at 22-21 in the wild card round. Kansas City blew this year.
These are 2 very different teams now, though. These teams are very, very good and very different.
Almost intercepted by Matthew. You know, you made this point about what the path is for Tennessee. I'll give you one more, Tony, and people will be writing about it this week. You know, week 17, they went into Houston, and yes, Houston sat starters, but they needed to win the game going in to be able to get into the postseason. So they beat a divisional leader, Houston, beat a divisional leader in New England, beat a divisional leader in the 1 seed in Baltimore, and next week, if they were to win the game, they would beat all 4 divisional winners to go to the Super Bowl. That would be a first in a row. As Watson goes out of bounds after a gain of 7. We were there in November in Nashville.
We did.
When that one was a great game to watch. When Kansas City and Tennessee played.
And this was the start of Ryan Tannehill coming in, really. I mean, he'd already played a game or two, and at that point right there, it was like, whoa. And I remember watching it. A couple things had to go Tennessee's way when we did that game.
Yep.
You know, the block kick or something. But this Tennessee team you see now is so confident. They shorten football games. You only get 6 to 8, 9 possessions a game, sometimes 2 for a quarter in the second half.
Ball off the hands of Stills, and it's 4th and 3.
They protect the football, and they basically, you know, to me, if you can't stop Derrick Henry, the problem is they have such a good play-action game that it is going to be very difficult. It's not going to be easy for Kansas City. This is a formidable opponent, much better than people know, and they're very smart on both sides of the ball, and they have a scheme defensive coordinator in Dean Pease who will make it tougher, I believe, on Kansas City and a lot of the stuff they do. But saying all that, Kansas City's the most dominant offensive team in football, period.
Their defense now trying to take Houston off the field. On 4th and 3, out of the backfield, Johnson will keep him on the field. Yeah, I mean, Derrick Henry, Tony, this has been a 2-week stretch for him. I mean, even going back to the Houston game, week 17, when he won the rushing title and went over 200 yards in that game. This was a guy that had a hamstring injury that kept him out of week 16. I guess that's gone away. He's been incredible to watch.
Yeah, he's been the best player, you know, over the last month, really. Just no one's running like that. I mean, they basically did to Baltimore what Baltimore does to everybody else.
New set of downs for Houston. Down the middle and off the hands of Fells. And Fuller was there defending.
And you see the shot. It's a pretty good throw. Just has to turn his hands back behind him just an inch.
Houston's Jordan Akins inactive today with a hamstring injury. Was not even traveled to Kansas City, and he was a guy that could be very effective in a part of the offense. Caught 36 passes on the season. Didn't have him today. 2nd and 10. Thrown up in the air as the edges
were
being compromised. And yes, the flags are down at midfield.
Fuller was gone. That was a touchdown. Actually, a smart play by Matthew to pull him. I don't love that.
Pass interference. Defense number 32. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
By the way, I mean, here's Houston. As you see right here, Matthew holding on to the jersey.
Well, they pressured him, and that's what I was saying. I don't really love that right there. It's like you're going to all-out pressure, possibly give them a quick score. The only way that they have a chance would be if they scored something in a play, you know, or two on one of these 3 drives. You have to have one of them has to be just instantaneous, and then you have to get an onside, or the ball's got to bounce your way. I mean,
first down. Owen Fells, and you see a man open down the field that Watson was unable to find.
And that's moving around. You've got an opportunity, and Watson moving around and then just finding Fells. I thought he had a shot at Stills if he'd have got his eyes back over there, but
Kelsey and Mahomes.
I mean, how about the day Kelsey had?
How about the two of them together?
I mean, and Mahomes with a perfect three-quarter stretch, you could call it. And honestly, he had 2 drops. I mean, after the first 3 drives, 2 of them were drops. That's how the drives ended.
It ended both the first 2 drives.
It's almost a perfect game in a lot of ways.
Watson, that's another sack put up. That's Dorian O'Daniel making the play. And now it's 3rd and 11. This defense of Kansas City, now it's, of course, there was a special teams touchdown put up by the Texans, but Kansas City over the last 6 games allowed the fewest points in the league. And talking to Steve Spagnuolo, how this team gelled, and one of the things was really key to him, how proud he was of the staff that he got to put together. Guys that he knew, that Andy knew, and he was effusive about how valuable they've been.
And the defensive staff are the ones who taught all these players. Steve can only do so much, and he brought the system, but these guys have to, the linebacker coach, the defensive backs coach, D-line. That's who teaches the players daily. And once they learn this system, they fly around like this.
Houston has another 4th and 3 coming up. Spagnuolo, who was out of the NFL last year, he was living in the Philadelphia area, watching the Kansas City games and rooting for his pal Andy Reid. And he would spend his Mondays at NFL Films. He'd go in there and watch every play from every game. He wanted to stay in the game.
It's incredible. And that you see right there a guy who took down Tom Brady in the 07 Super Bowl against that 16-0 team. That I played against Steve Spagnuolo. If you're a passing team, you don't want to see him a lot because he does a lot of different things that make it difficult. Today, Houston could run the ball, so it minimized some of that.
4th and 2, Watson on the run, and it's incomplete. It was high for Hopkins. And again, Kansas City takes over on downs.
All day, just making it difficult. Watson trying to extend, and the ball just gets high. A couple of high throws late that have ended a couple drives, and Bill knows that was probably their last chance, if there was. And give them credit. They did a great job this season getting to this point.
Won a division for the 4th time in the last 5 years.
They knew how important winning that game last week was.
I mean, they beat a Buffalo team that had a great year.
Yes, they did.
They're going to be dangerous for a long time to go. Here's a handoff to Damian Williams. Don't forget, coming up after the game, the State Farm post-game show. JB and the crew will once again discuss what they saw here, what they see coming up next week back here at Arrowhead in the AFC Championship game. That's all coming up on the State Farm post-game show. They're going to be joining us on site next week for that title matchup on the AFC side. In fact, Mike Vrabel and the Titans coming in. Mike Vrabel was drafted into the NFL by Coach Cowher and the Steelers in 1997. That's Martin with the tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
I mean, the depth of the teams in the AFC, I mean, from 1 to 6. Tennessee's the 6th seed. They're in the AFC title game.
Yep. It's going to be a 2 versus 6 matchup.
Yeah, and you talked about Buffalo. Buffalo's really good. Houston's obviously really good. I mean, Kansas City, we know how special they are. I mean, just...
Well, you know what happened here? How things all started going in a new direction was because of Miami and Fitzmagic on week 17. Makes that drive down the field at Gillette, beats the Patriots, takes them out of the bye and drops them back to the 3. Otherwise, and no one saw that coming, otherwise it would have been Tennessee at Kansas City last week in the wild card round.
Yeah, they would have been playing in the wild card. Instead, it's the AFC Championship game. You're exactly right. Tennessee, Kansas City most likely. Our producers still won't call that obvious.
Sounds like you're still hedging a little bit there too, partner.
There's not much hedge.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But
their 3rd and final timeout. 30 seconds tonight.
Timeout again by Houston tonight on CBS. begins with 60 Minutes. And again, actor Joaquin Phoenix, tennis star Rafael Nadal, followed by new episodes of God Friended Me, NCIS Los Angeles, plus FBI Most Wanted tonight, only CBS. And, you know, I want to say this because you watch, you listen, you hear a lot of things. What Ryan Tannehill did to spark this Tennessee team we're going to see come in here next week.
He's played outstanding.
After week 6. And now they get to the postseason. They've won 2 games. He's done everything that's been asked. But you look at the graphics, you look at all the lower third stuff and the discussions. You know, Tannehill hasn't thrown for 100 yards in either one of their wins.
Well, he doesn't
that is called taking the numbers and using it as weaponry for a misleading message.
He's playing great.
I mean, yesterday he threw for 2 touchdowns, ran for 1. He only had to throw it 14 times. He did what he had to do, right?
If you're throwing 14 times, you're not going to get to 150 yards very often. I mean, it's the playoffs. It's about winning, and he's doing everything that it takes. If they needed 300 yards, he'd have an opportunity probably. He's done that plenty of times this year. And I think you're seeing them impose their will right now on teams, and they've just been more physical up front.
It's going to be quite a matchup. That's Pringle down there, downing it. Chiefs clicking on all phases. It wasn't that way the first 15 minutes of this game. Largest comeback wins in postseason history. Well, City of Houston knows all about that first one. Buffalo 35-3 down to the Oilers in the 92 wild card.
I want to know.
And Kansas City knows about the second one. The game Indianapolis came back from 28 down.
I want to know who had the largest comeback win. I want to know who had the largest comeback win in a quarter, because they just made that up in a quarter.
It had to be.
It was 24-0 right after the first quarter.
Yep.
And then it was 28-24. Well, so they didn't come back in the game. They came back in a quarter, right? And then it was probably.
As Johnson takes it out to about the 16. They kicked the field goal in the opening minutes. Houston did. And they had that decision to make. He thought they had the wrong personnel grouping out there, but they were at the. What was it? Around at the Kansas City 10-yard line, had 4th and a foot. They looked like they were going to go for it. Ended up having to call a timeout and kick the field goal.
That's 24-0, early second quarter. You're right, and then it just the onslaught just began.
Yeah, I mean, right with the kick return after the field goal by Hardman.
That was so huge, because until then it was just a tentative game on their part, and that freed everybody up. They were now all of a sudden, okay, we can do this. Just needed something, a spark. Sometimes there's just a spark to light a fire, Jim. That's inside of you. Come on, Jim.
That is J.J. Watt. How about you? Come on, man. Deshaun Watson. That was his line.
Was it?
That was his line last week at Houston.
It's pretty good.
J.J. provided the spark. Watson turned it into a fire.
They did a great job this year. Just ran into a team that's.
And that's going to pick up a first down as we have 3 minutes fast approaching.
Just a rare team, this Kansas City, this offense. You have the perfect mix of Andy Reid's scheme and Travis Kelce's ability to do everything at the tight end position. Tyreek Hill's next level speed, and then the gracefulness and just really ingenuity and the ability of Patrick Mahomes. It's just a lot to deal with.
Dumps it off incomplete. Andy Reid, 1 step closer to coaching in a second Super Bowl. He took the Eagles in 2004. And this is going to be his 220th all-time win, regular and post, which, Tony, is the 6th most all-time.
And I tell you right now, he's got the most without a Super Bowl, I believe, all-time.
Yes.
In wins.
Most wins without a 5th Super Bowl victory.
I mean, Andy Reid is at the top of any coaching tree that people talk about, and I think for some people they need that Super Bowl.
Nice catch. That's Fuller.
He needs that Super Bowl to go into that next category, right, that people hold, and I think he's already there. He's that good, but I think that a lot of people are rooting, for Andy Reid to get that Super Bowl, because he has so many people in the NFL that look up to him, and he started so many of their careers, and they're all around, and he's been good for a long, long time, and he's got a great opportunity in front of him, but he's got 2 big-time opponents who, we know one's Tennessee.
30-yard pass play to Fuller. Johnson tries to get out, And he does. Yeah, Andy Reid in the coaching fraternity. There is nothing but respect right across the other 31 franchises.
You know,
here's a franchise in Kansas City that had never hosted an AFL or AFC championship game in its first 58 years of existence, and then hosted last year, and now going to host back-to-back years under Andy Reid.
You know how that one team in New England, they're pretty good. They're still going to be good. I really believe that Bill Belichick's always going to figure a way out. Tom Brady's rare and crazy special.
On the sideline, catch by Carter.
But it's slowly feeling like Kansas City's going to be the team that you have to play really good to go in and win, right? It's like they're the team each year that you know is just going to be there at the end, and you see his foot. Good job dragging by Carter.
What you're saying is there's a foundation here that, and you got Mahomes in just his third year. This could be a great 10 years ahead for Kansas City.
I mean, Mahomes has played 2 seasons. He's playing in his second AFC championship.
That's right.
It's going to be, I mean, it's like remember you got Tom Brady starting that career? Played in a lot of them pretty early on.
So Fells and another 9. By the way, Deshaun Watson now with 374 yards passing in the game.
He's played great. I really think they just can't give up 48, 44, whatever points in a row in a playoff game. It's just, you're not winning.
Coming after him. He got it away. It's Taiwan Jones. Jones takes it down into the red zone. 15-yard pickup. 2-minute warning.
I'm Randy Diaz, mayor of Seltzer, Pennsylvania. If you love Bud Light like me, you'll love Bud Light Seltzer. It's a hard seltzer from Bud Light. It comes in 4 flavors and tastes great. Bud Light Seltzer. It's unquestionably good. If you don't love Bud Light, you'll love Bud Light Seltzer. It's not Bud Light, it's hard seltzer. It comes in 4 flavors and tastes great. Bud Light Seltzer. It's unquestionably good. Questions? Call us now.
So what's the deal with the app?
So the safer you drive, the more money you save.
Well, bad news, State Farm, because Aaron doesn't know how to play it safe.
Light it up!
That's enough. Don't mess with my discount.
It was a tough call, but our new senior VP goes to Mike.
This wasn't the first time. Claire had been passed up for the promotion. But it would be the last time. Upload your resume on Indeed.
We gonna get this party started!
Be there live for music's biggest night. Billie Eilish, Aerosmith, Lizzo, Blake Shelton with Gwen Stefani, and Ariana Grande returns to the Grammy stage for a special performance. Alicia Keys hosts.
Let's keep it going.
Unexpect everything.
Can we please start it again? I'm sorry, I can't mess this up.
The Grammys live Sunday, January 26th on CBS.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Indeed, the world's #1 job site. And by Royal Caribbean, come seek. State Farm post-game show coming up soon. We'll go back to the studio in New York for JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, Hall of Famer Coach Gower. All the highlights from this game coming up on the State Farm post-game show. But not before Houston can put up another touchdown. 8 yards away.
And Deshaun's trying to guess, are they coming? Are they not coming? And they're not.
He points, he runs, he throws, and it is incomplete as Damian Wilson helped jar that out of the hands of Duke Johnson.
I mean, this is where Steve Spagnuolo makes it really tough when he knows you're passing. No one's deep. Everyone's on the line. Who's coming, who's not. Now watch what happens right here on the inside. They bracket somebody. People are double-teamed on the inside. Hopkins was doubled. Fells was doubled. I mean,
went right through his hands.
It does, and you see that's still Watson goes and makes a play. But that's why, if you're a passing team, Steve Spagnuolo is as difficult to deal with as anybody. But if you're a running team, there's only so much you can do as a coordinator. You got to line up and you got to play. And that's what they'll be facing next week, Jim.
Toss, Hopkins, broken up by Ward.
That's a good job by Ward. These back shoulder fades in the end zone right here are always very physical. There we are, almost, yes. There's a ball coming into your screen right there. See how physical it is at the top. It's always about who gets a little bit of leverage.
Third and goal. Now, 143.
Guess what? Everyone was up there before they bailed out. I'm saying here they all come, Jim.
Here they do. Pass incomplete. Broken up by Breland. Fuller the target. And now it's 4th and goal.
It's a good job. They send more guys than you have to block. Clark comes free and gives a little awkward turn of the shoulder, being like, And now you're going to see the exact same thing, Jim.
Going to bring everybody?
There's going to have Steve Spagnuolo's going to line up. Everyone's going to get soft. Watch all these guys. Hey, you go here. I'm not coming. I'm just lazy, right? I'm Sorensen. I have nothing to do here. Don't look at me. I would never blitz right in this gap.
And here he comes. Here comes Clark. Clark gets him all the way back at the 25. He's down. That's why they went out and got Frank Clark. Make plays like that. He wasn't healthy the first half of the season, and not even though he played healthy for that first matchup with Houston, but he's been making a difference late in the season for sure.
Well, Clark comes free because they're sending one more guy than you have. That's everybody, and he is see the speed. I mean, for someone to really get Watson down one-on-one with that much space shows you the ability. And Patrick Mahomes with an incredible performance today.
The Kansas City defense put up 5 sacks in this game.
Well, and that's a big difference. They didn't sack Watson once in week 6.
That's right. One of only 2 games this year they did not have a sack. They got him again 5 times today. They're the first team ever in the postseason to win by 20 after trailing by at least 20 in a postseason game. We're going to have Tennessee and Kansas City on this field next Sunday afternoon.
You want a stylistic matchup?
That's it, isn't it?
Completely opposite. You're getting it. This reminds me of like a Bill Walsh 49ers versus the Giants in the 80s, you know, the Bears, it's something like that. And it's coming next week. It's going to be unbelievable.
The last time the Chiefs were in the Super Bowl was 50 years ago. They are 1 game away from going back. They won the Super Bowl down in New Orleans. They matriculated down to the Crescent City with Hank Stram and company and Lynn Dawson. They won that Super Bowl 50 years ago yesterday, and now they're 1 game away from going back to the big game.
Early on in this game, we talked about having them go through a little adversity. Mahomes was out. Not quite as dominant people thought at stretches this year. Andy Reid stayed the course, kept everyone mind going forward, keep improving 1 game at a time. But that makes you mentally stronger. And they were down today 24-0, and they stayed with it. They're a mentally strong team. That gives you a chance.
was a shaky start for sure, but then they turned on the afterburners, and they were just brilliant the rest of the way. Chiefs take it 51-31. Coming up next, the State Farm.
Where would you like to be? Visa, everywhere you want to be.
Come one, come all, and prepare yourself for a trio of bold flavors from Taco Bell. A taco so melty, yet crunchy, for just $1 each. The $1 double-stacked tacos on the Cravings Value Menu. Value that never ceases to amaze.
People take amazing photos of things every day, like grapefruits. And because we're so good at taking photos, we're also really good at doing taxes. People can be good at anything, even taxes. Intuit TurboTax.
J-Rock Williams. Oh! Jason Rosario. The Super Welterweight World Championship. Saturday on Fox.
This isn't just another race. It's a run at history. The Daytona 500. February 16th on Fox.
There's one spot left in next week's title games. Will it be the Green Bay Packers or the Seattle Seahawks? Joe Buck, tell us who wins.
Kurt, thank you, and we're about to all find out the answer to that question in this great scene. It's a January night at Lambeau Field in this matchup of the Seahawks and the Packers. Welcome to the broadcast booth. It's cold. It's really cold here in Green Bay, and we'll talk about the Green Bay Packers. They're the number 2 seed for a reason. They won 13 games. Aaron Rodgers feels like they're kind of flying under the radar, and for the first time, Troy, it feels like it's not all on Aaron Rodgers. He's got a great running back, and he's got a good pass rush on his own defense.
Yeah, well, it has not been on his shoulders all season long, and that is unusual. Unfortunately for the Packers, they've been able to find this element in Aaron Jones and their ability to run the football. They finished up the season really strong. He did in particular. And this is a defense that has shown flashes of brilliance throughout the year, but they finished up really playing good football, and they're hoping to continue that again tonight.
And maybe what I just said about Aaron Rodgers doesn't apply to Russell Wilson. It kind of does feel like it's all on Russell Wilson, and all the guy's done since he was drafted by the Seahawks in 2012 is win. And if they get through this game and meet the San Francisco 49ers, he's going to have to play a wonderful ball game.
Well, he is, and he's the reason, as you said, as to why they're in this ball game. Pretty remarkable when you look at Seattle and all the injuries that they have had on both sides of the ball, and yet Russell Wilson just seemingly wills this team to victory each week. And no matter what happens in this game, they have a belief that they're going to find a way to win, and for the most part, they have all year.
It's going to be a fun night, no doubt about it. These fans are ready to roll. It is cold in Green Bay. Have I mentioned that yet? It's the Packers and the Seahawks tonight on Fox.
At 39, Mike Bloomberg was fired. He turned around and started his own business, now with 20,000 employees. Determination. It's the way Mike will get it done.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
Rated T for Teen.
Let's go! You're finished!
In fast food, there's value. Then there's fresh value from Subway. Like the 6-inch oven-roasted chicken for just $2.99. It's seasoned all-white meat chicken raised without antibiotics. Start the year off fresh. Fresh value, only from Subway.
He's the only candidate in the race who has never taken a penny in contributions from any special interest. Ever. Independence. It's the way Mike will get it done.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
Here are tonight's insights built with IBM Watson. The best touchdown to interception ratio over the last 2 seasons belong to the 2 quarterbacks going at it in this one. Rodgers 51 good, only 6 picks. Russell Wilson 68 touchdowns, just 12 interceptions. Can't wait for this one. Seahawks Packers divisional playoff game at Lambeau Field coming your way. Next on Fox.
People think my job is easy. You just go on TV and talk, right? Well, each season, there's over 1,500 players and hundreds of games. Hi. Plus passing yards, turnovers, injuries. We have to be ready to analyze any of it on live TV. If we fumble on air, that's a problem. IBM Watson helps us wrap our heads around all that data and quickly find relevant insights using AI, so we can give every fan the best show possible. Welcome, everybody, to Fox Kickoff. I'm Carissa Thompson.
The famous Meat Lovers Pizza from Pizza Hut. Over a pound of meat and cheese for just $10. It's more pepperoni for your penny, more beef for your buck, more... You get the idea. Get yours delivered now at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Here we go. It's my turn to make history.
The Daytona 500, February 16th on Fox.
Saturday, it's a big-time doubleheader on Fox.
Bringing it on!
First, a classic Big East showdown tips off from the Mecca of college hoops, Madison Square Garden, as St. John's looks to defend home turf against Miles Powell and Seton Hall.
Oh, my goodness!
Then, Pac-12 action heats up as number 24, Arizona, takes on number 25, Colorado.
To the hole! Nicely done!
A college hoops doubleheader tips off Saturday at 11:30 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
A huge title fight is prime time on Fox. Philly welcomes home their unified world champion. As Julian J. Rock Williams defends his belts against...
And speaking of power...
Jason Rosario, who brings an 8-fight win streak into his first world title fight.
I think this is going to be one. They're going to be going after each other.
The Super Welterweight World Championship. Saturday on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
There is no scene like it around the National Football League Lambeau Field. A divisional playoff game, the Seahawks and the Packers on a 22-degree night. Feels like 16. Let's go down to the sideline. Both sidelines are covered. We'll check in first with Chris Myers.
Well, Joe, there you go. It is cold, and the Seahawks are prepared for the cold and the conditions. You know, the frozen tundra, not so frozen. The actual field, there's heating coils underneath, so it keeps it warm. But the wear and tear of the game makes it slippery later. So especially the visiting team, they have to adjust their shoes. But not Russell Wilson. He has special cleats made for him for this game that will allow him to plant, take off, and run. He won't change the entire game. 0-3 in his career here at Lambeau. Hopes to change that. Let's head over to the other other sideline now, and Aaron Andrews.
Well, Aaron Rodgers joked with me, it's been a while, but at 13-3, the Packers are back in the playoffs. He loves the fact they're flying underneath the radar. He feels like it's better when we don't feel ourselves. I'll tell you what the Packers are feeling like in their locker room. The flu bug has hit them. Their latest victim is right tackle Brian Bulaga. He is not starting tonight. I talked to Matt LaFleur before the game. He told me they simply don't know what they're going to be able to get out of him, Joe.
Yeah, that illness has gone around the Packers locker room, and it's felt even after that off week here tonight. Taking a knee is Tyler Urban, and out to the 25 it comes. By the way, Seattle won the toss. They defer. That's why Green Bay has the ball. Spanish language broadcast available tonight on Fox Deportes, and here is Aaron Rodgers. And the numbers in his postseason career at home. It's been a couple of years, as he told Aaron Rodgers, 3-2 overall, but 11 touchdowns, 1 pick, and a quarterback rating for the guy who is number 1 all time in that category at over 105. And off to start the day, Jones. What a beginning on the ground for Aaron Jones. He gets 23. What a year he had, and what a start to this game for 33.
Well, this is outside zone running game that this Green Bay Packer offense likes. They get it off to a great start. Aaron Jones, who we talked about coming in. He's been the lightning rod for this offense throughout the season, especially down the stretch. They want to run the football, come out right on the very first play with a nice game.
Jared Veldheer gets the start at right tackle for Bulaga, who, as Aaron mentioned, is sick. Play action. Rodgers keeps out to his right, throws. Adams, first down and more.
Yeah.
14 yards to Davante Adams.
Well, you see the shallow crosser there by Davante Adams. He's the target. He's the guy who Aaron Rodgers is looking for. But the left guard, Elton Jenkins, it looked like he got away with a little something. Poona Ford trying to come off of that. Maybe there wasn't as much there as what it appeared. They get the running game going. They come right back off of that big run by Aaron Jones with the bootleg for a gain to Adams.
Rodgers has to back out now, out to his left. Just throws it away. Jimmy Graham, closest one to it.
I don't know why exactly Aaron Rodgers didn't turn this loose. Trey Flowers in soft coverage, a slant route to Davante Adams. That's the first read for Aaron Rodgers. And when you watch him, Joe, and you study him, that's some of the things that you're just not